Now let's play a little bit with the colors and get better understanding of the options we have with Tailwind CSS and how to better use them. So of course the best way to do it is to get in our code. So let's jump back in our project. Again, we'll try to work out our project and make it look much better. So we'll start working on the side section of our project, and let's go back here and start a side one. Let's start using the background because it can help us to understand the colors. So the background, again, you have BG dash and then you have standard colors. So Tailwind CSS uses the standard colors names as classes, so it's easy to remember and easy to use. For example, I can do blue and it's a blue. You can use different shades of the blue. So you have the BG color name, and then you have the shaded, how much bluish it is. Okay, we can do the same, for example, for yellow. Same thing again, yellow, it is a yellow. And then you have a number with different shades of that yellow. Okay, let's again see another one, pink. And again, it's a pink and have different shades of that pink. How much pink it is, how much light it is, or how much dark it is. Then for Tailwind, I think it gives us 16 classes names, and each one of them have this number which define how the shade of that color. Okay, and of course you'll say, my own project, I don't have these standard colors, I have different colors. So later in next videos of this course, we will learn how you can build your own customized colors within Tailwind that you can access again just with BG dash and put your own class or your own style of colors. And another thing to keep while we're talking about default ones is that when you have white, there's no shade because it's just white. And if you do black, it's same thing, it's just like black. It can't be shades of black. If you want shades of, for example, the white, you can just do, for example, BG gray, and then you can select the first one. So that's a shade of white, right? Say, for example, if you do BG yellow, any other color, you have the first number, which is a shade of white, of white broken a little bit with some other color. Okay, same for the black, you can just use gray and do the dark color, or the, for example, the steel color and make it dark. All right, so now let's fix our project. So what I think I will do, as in the background I used the slate here, so I'll use the same, but I will use a different shade. I think I'll stick to 900. Slate 900. Okay, let's save. And that looks good for me. And then I'll just do a paddings in there. Tab padding. And what I will do, I'll remove the top one which I have here. I don't want that anymore. Okay, and then what I want is, I want this text to be a little bit pushed down. So on the padding top, I'll just put, for example, 16. Okay, and that looks good for me. And let's just, this text, make it look a little bit better. I'll just say margin bottom and push that input field a little bit down. I'll just say margin bottom 3, and that looks good for now. Now, whatever we did for BG applies to text. Okay, so again, BG and text is the same thing. You do text dash then the color name, right? And then you have the number, how much, the shade of that color. Okay, it's same rule for both of them. It's just one for background and one is for the text. That's it. Now let's jump into something more interesting, and we'll not go in details of this option, but we'll do in next videos, but I'll give you some taste of it. So what we will do on the right side is we will use a gradient background color. Okay, how I can do this with Tailwind? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible, and yes, it's very easy and simple. So what I will do is, for example, I'll come to this UL because that's the wrapper of this list here, and I can do BG gradient, and you can see he's giving you options. So either is a gradient to the top right, gradient to the right, and you can see here rules, gradient to the bottom right, gradient to the bottom left, and top left. Okay, Now I'll keep it simple. I'll just do to the right. So I want from the left to the right. So when you do this, you have to at least add two properties more. Okay. So you need from, right? From, I'll use, let's say, the red color I did before. And let me just read this so I get intelligence from red. And I will use, let's say, this one, right? So this is from. And then I will have two. So two, and I will use the slate I use here. So slate, and I'll use 900, and let's see how that looks like. Okay, so you can see here. So it's gradients from the left to the right. The left is red, and the right is the slate color. Okay. Now I notice this one here is because of the background I did up here. So that's one more property now you'll learn as well. So I want that background to be transparent. I want the full background she's behind to show up there. So you have something also BG dash transparent, and that's gone. Okay. Now when we add this gradient, we have from, we have to. You can also have a middle point as well, which can be. I'll use again red. I'll use light. And let's see how this will look like. And that's how it looks like. So now with this added, we can have see a problem in reading. So you can't read the text. So that's one more thing now you will learn is that you can have opacity again added within the class names in Tailwind CSS. So how we can do that? With the class name, I will do BG again, BG white, for example, and you have slash, and then slash, and then you put how much opacity it is. You can see here it's giving me details, right? So let's use 20% and see how that will look like. And I think that should do, or maybe let's increase it a little to make it more readable. There we go. So that's more readable. So I can still see through a little bit behind, but without hiding the text or not be able to read it, right? Now, that's what's about the colors. Like I said, the gradients and the custom colors, we'll go more in depth for them, especially in the next videos. Now, let's do one thing last fix in the UI. And this text, this list is just pushing up too much on the top, right? Let's just fix that. And let me add margin top, and let's say just 5. Okay, and there it is. I can see my list now, right? Or what I can do, yeah, it looks okay. But if you want this background to stay there, then best thing is to have another div actually as a wrapper and have our list here, right? And this background can go to the main div. Right, and this div will have a padding top. I'll say 5. Okay, so that looks much better. So my full section on the right have a background, but my list is a bit pushed down, so it's not, the image is not stuck up to my browser.